didn't do anything about it. So we better think about this.
Both candidates have spoken about their economic plans, and some people have been waiting to find out more about their economic plans, and both of them speaking about it. I want you to help us analyze what they've stated. For example, Hamdeen Sabahi is stating that he will give land. Some people said maybe that it was too out of the box. How can we ensure that both candidates do implement their economic plans?
Economic is not wording, and it never can be wording. If I want to give you a land, I have to help you in cultivating that land or improving what you should do on it, whether a factory or anything like this. But just to give you a land, it's not the main issue. And I'm not going to make it as a kind of trading lands. I'm selling and buying lands. No. And I want to have one rule during that time for the lands of Egypt, that none of these lands are for sell and buy. It is only for time lease. Nothing, no more than this. Whatever this land, anywhere. Why? To avoid people or the black market or people using this. So it's a time lease. If you didn't do the job, I'll get another one to do it. And that's it. So Hamdeen Sabahi, when he said, so I don't think
it's realistic.
No, I don't think he will have the capability to get this land, because the land belongs to all Egyptians, not the 90 million right now, but the millions after. So you need to support the people are coming. You don't know them, and you don't know what their needs, and you don't know what your country is going to be. So you need to focus on, if I want to give them land, I have to give them, before giving the land, I'm going to give them the idea, the project, whatever the zone is important for. So that zone is very important for the white sand, which is, so I can ask gathering of young generation, we will get you about 20 guys, we'll put you in one, make a factory for you, and that factory is to make glasses or to do a manufacturing thing, to upgrade the raw material which you have, and you can sell it outside. So you have to think from that global, and you can ask the businessmen to support the young guys in this project. So you didn't ignore the businessmen, but you asked them to work as a global way. And the kids and the young generations, they can work in this. They can feel that they are earning their money by their work. The government should not support everyone with a job. That's ridiculous. United States, no. United States, you're going to ask them how many people are there in the government. It's very limited than Egypt. So you better think from this point of view, you need to create jobs and not to pay for jobs. That's two different things. Create the job, so I'll make them businessmen, or let them work for themselves and build their own career. The second thing, Al-Sisi have said, I'm going to start parallel with all projects. It's very good and it's very nice. But we cannot start all of it in parallel at once. We can start one or two, because we need to focus on this to make what you call a kind greedy improvement. We need to show improvement for
greedy improvement.
Yes.
It's an interesting term.
Yeah.
Right, but so maybe just as it was mentioned, it is very much true that we don't have time. And all of our, if I can describe it like this, that our challenges are far beyond imagination. Maybe some people still do not understand this, but for example, talking about Egypt and what was mentioned, you believe that in Egypt we have many different, Egypt is rich with its different resources. And also it has to do with, usually the word is rationalization. Why we are like this? If we started to work or to behave in a completely different way, do you think we can achieve something? And it's not going to cost us anything. Even in electricity, for example, you know, not only the economy.
I'm Egyptian also, and I love Egypt. And before I go out of my house, I put all the lights off, and I just, even the anything which is related to electricity is off. Why I'm doing this? This is to support the government, to limit it, my energy cost, and to limit my this consumption, which I'm not using it, and to have it used in another part. We see people start to work in Egypt as noontime, 11, 12 o'clock in the morning. Why can't you start at 8 o'clock?
Because he spent all the night.
No, we have to change our
Culture?
Culture.
Behaviors.
Behaviors. We have to start at 8 o'clock. Normally, as anybody in Europe, as anybody in the States, as anybody in Asia, they start 8 o'clock and they finish by 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is 12 hours. When you start at 11 or 12 and you finish by 12, midnight, that's ridiculous.
Unfortunately, it's not going to end by
So
12.
you're using traffic, a high load of traffic. You're putting high energy over there. The city is full of crowded, nothing in it. So we need to change this. This manner, it's by the governors, and they should talk to the people, and everybody should. The mechanic starts at 12 o'clock. So you do need the
This is
mechanic.
what I'm talking about, how far people can accept something like this, like any other civilized country. If we don't sleep, I don't know, when do we sleep to
My
go
dear,
to our work?
You forgot one thing to say this also. One thing. You are in the intensive care. This is the second time to say it. Once you are in the intensive care, you have to listen to the doctor who is operating this and be careful of everything word he said. You are in the intensive care. You have to go out of the intensive care. You need to fresh back Egypt as it was. We are descendants of great people. We are descendants from thousands and thousands of years. We are the pharaohs. We have built lots of things. Everybody recognizes it until today. So we have to come back again, and we will come back again. Those who doesn't want to cooperate in this, they better go to hell first. We are going to do it.
Well, this is very passionate speech. How can we encourage youth to be on board for this change, for this radical change? Because a lot of them have become sort of passive, and we do have this sense of, it's not really laziness, it's rather that they feel like the jobs they have. For example, you have very skilled students, once they graduate, they find that they're stuck in jobs that aren't
Maybe they
worthy
are
of their skill, or
demotivated.
vice versa.
You need, first of all, to give them a hope.
Motivate them.
Yes.
Can this be through in developing small, medium projects,
Yes.
providing this for them even?
When the young, as I said, when the young people, you just gather them, put them into a very tiny project and make it a successful one to them. And it's not, he should not have thousands and thousands of pounds to do it, but they are 10 or 5 or 20, and they put them together and tell them that project is going to work for this factory, and all your products are going to go for this, and that you'll be succeeded, and you're going to get a sort of a benefit of like 18 or 20% of this. So that's a very successful project for both of you at the starting. So you better think about it, and I push them for this. I have to give them the hope, motivate them. I have to give them, and not to depress them. The lands which Sabahi wants to give them this, I'm not interested in doing this, but I can give a time lease land to housing, only for housing. And I give them, we do have students in the faculty of engineering, and they are an architect, and they have to make a project at the end of the last year. They can make plans of what type of buildings, because they are doing the project. The governor of any city can calculate and gather all these projects, put them into his section, and if you have the land, and we are going to give you the land, and we say this is the lands, and I'm going to give it to you, it's a time lease for 20 years, this is the how you built it. If you want to build this, the engineer who have done this, is his name is so and so, and you can go to him and get it from him. You give this fresh graduate a job to do something. You're giving the person who is having the project of his house a way to do in a very cheap way.
So you're giving him motivation.
Yes, you have to give motivation. That's number one. You can't stop it. Otherwise you will you will feel pain.
Well, Dr. Hussein Shereeba, Economic Development and Planning Consultant, very interesting that you also look at the mental, that element, which is most interesting and most important as well. And with that, we're going to take a look at one of Dina Yunus's reports from Sa'ara and be right back to resume the breakfast show, so stay tuned.